It's been positive. Our team knew it. I mean, we had a great discussion right before they went home for Christmas that this is not who we want to be. This is not who we want to be as a program, and they took ownership of that. And that's the first step, when you can see your shortcomings and know that we got to make improvements. And we set out a plan of this is how we're going to attack it, and this is how we're going to get those things right. And to their credit, you know, this senior group, which has been with us now 4 and 5 years, has really taken ownership of this team. Yeah, we've just really approached this entire offseason with a different level of accountability for our players. We've really put a lot of emphasis on them to lead this team. They're not freshmen anymore. They're not sophomores. A lot of these young cats have grown up in our program and know what we expect, and so they're running the team now. And we're putting it on their shoulders to hold everybody accountable and make sure we get this thing right.
All right, Willie's up. So you're up, Ox. You're going to give 3 good moves, and then you get set in between. On you, Ox.
You know, I think competition gets guys going. I think it gets them up in the morning, gets them going to class, gets them taking care of all their business, because if a guy knows he's set to be the starter for the next 2 or 3 years or whatever it is, he has a sense, not as much of a sense of urgency as some kids do.
Let's go, D! 5, let's go!
Most of those guys that have been problems here in the past are no longer on this football team. Got a good group of core players that are excited to compete against each other and then go out and play with each other. So I think it's a good group, good mixture.
Everyone, thanks for tuning in to another edition of Double T Insider. I'm Taylor Peters. At the start of conference play, Lady Raider tennis is already making its mark, but this weekend will be the toughest match yet. Number 7 Oklahoma State will provide talent that's second to none in the Big 12 Conference, except to maybe Tech's own Gabriela Talaba, who Coach Todd Petty says may just be one of the greatest players he's ever coached.
I'm Gabriela Talaba and I'm from Galați, Romania. We have a lot of people walking on the streets there. There are not too many here except of campus. And that's kind of a change. That was obvious when I came here, but like in time I got used to it. So when I came here, I had to be a new me, and I had to start making new friends because I didn't know anyone here. Challenge for me to be here because I have all of these things here. I have the full scholarship, and I had to start like basically a new life. Because I'm here and now I have more opportunities for the future. Like I can do something with my major in the future, or I can go back home and try to play professional tournaments. The most important thing is that I have more options than as I had before. That gives you more confidence and more trust for the future, and the outcomes can be better.
Up next, how receiver Kiki QT is using the pain of his past to fuel his success on the field.
Double T Insider is brought to you in part by Plains Capital Bank. Bank with confidence. The Red Raider Club. Your support, their effort, our fearless champions. Texas Farm Bureau. Register today for your chance to deliver the game ball and receive a VIP experience at a Texas Tech home football game. Contest details available at texastech.com. Texas Ford dealers. Visit your Texas Ford dealer today. Ford is the best in Texas. And UMC. It's our hospital.
Most people, they just see the Saturdays, the touchdowns.
Wide open for the catch and the touchdown, Red Raiders.
Most people don't know what really goes into it or all the workouts. You gotta embrace the grind if you want to get to where you want to go. My uncle, who passed away of cancer, he's the one that actually signed me up for City League, so because of him, I'm kind of in the place I am today. So everything I do is for him. If I'm out there doing the gut check or anything like that, or just on a game day Saturdays, I'm always thinking of him because everything I do is for him because I know he's watching me and I know he's proud of me, so I just keep pushing for him. You just have to keep pushing, you can't let up. If you let up, it's going to pass you by. So I'll say good work ethic will get you where you want to be, because if you outwork the next man for you, I'm sure you're going to get rewarded. My name is Kiki Kitty. I'm from Austin, Texas.
Nearly 100% of Texas Tech's receiving core will return in 2017, meaning that wide receivers coach Emmett Jones has his hands full with experienced talent.
A lot of those young guys, they watched the Oklahoma game and how coach was dialing up those plays and Pat was executing them, and wide receivers been in the right place where they need to be. And we kind of started that in the state of Texas as far as putting 4 or 5 guys out on the football field and just spreading them out and giving the ball as quick as possible and let them work in space. And they understand that, a lot of times here we're gonna put you in a situation where there's one-on-one coverage, and these guys like to catch the ball in space and show their athletic ability. And so there's so many kids out there, and they are excited about, the chance to come play football at Texas Tech, be a part of the air raid system. It's time to go now. And I looked at TJ, I just challenged him and told him, no, you can be better than anybody in the country. Just dedicate yourself. You have 2 big brothers to look up to, which is Derek and Dylan. Just try your best to outwork those guys and just do everything right on the back end. You don't want any distractions or nothing like that. I'm expecting all those guys. I wrote our depth is solid, our 3 deep, so we all trust every last one of those guys, and they know what we expect from the offense here at Tech. So, I believe you get to see all those guys out there. I always got to talk about Quan Shorts. I remember when I first arrived here in Lubbock, it was probably the first time I was here when he reported. I saw him, the first thing I told him is, you remind me of one of those guys I see in the Southeastern Conference, man. You have some talent. I remember you qualifying for the state track meet in the state of Texas, so you need to put that to use in this offense. And he's been doing awesome this spring also too, so just keep your fingers crossed, keep him healthy, keep him moving in the right direction. No, we don't want anybody to be selfish. That's why I like the family atmosphere in that room. Everybody understand their role. It's a good group of kids, and looking forward to the spring.
Still to come, how Texas Tech softball is leaning on one expression to set the tone for the 2017 season.
So my name is Susan Wellborn, and I'm a catcher this year, and I'm a senior.
Hi, I'm Addie Maisel. I'm number 17, and I'm a pitcher for Texas Tech.
So this year we kind of went with a theme, This Is How We Row, and it's more based on the book, The Boys in the Boat, which is about an Olympic team that completely has to learn to work in unison, and it's just a great story on leadership. So we kind of correlated that in with our season and decorated our paddles exactly how we feel would represent us the best.
So here we have our canoe, and within our canoe we have several words, and this is our team covenant. And so we have it in our locker, and it keeps us to a standard.
There's been each little step that we do. The paddles themselves actually came into play around Christmas break to get us to kind of work through something and work towards something and kind of keep our eyes on what what our target goal is.
Then we also have our paddles, and so within our paddles there's 9 people on a kayak or rowing team, and so the 9 people have to be in sync in order for them to win the race. And so we got sent home over Christmas break with our different paddles that were plain, just wood, and we were able to decorate them and kind of put our personality on them and describe who we are and what motivates us.
Like my sophomore year, we did a bonfire. So everything was just like, you throw in your worries, you throw in your bad grades, and just completely light it on fire and say, okay, let's go play. And then last year, our whole team thing was synergy, you know. It all revolves around one source as a team. And then this year we did this, and it's all about leadership and learning to work in unison with each other.
This is my paddle, and I chose to do kind of like a geometric theme, one, because I think it looks cool, and I chose the colors red, black, and white because those are the colors of Texas Tech.
The black one is my paddle, and I wrote a little poem on it, and it's one of my favorite that my mom introduced to me, and it's called The Man in the Glass, and how like throughout your whole life, if you cheated the man in the glass, you won't get paid the way you should be, you know. And so I thought it was really cool for my senior year, and it's just kind of something that I've kind of kept with me throughout the course of the year. It kind of went through a little bit of an accident, but for the most part, there were mirrors right there, and then starfish that mean a whole lot to me because that's something between me and my mom, and then the poem. So that's mine.
So it's purposely put here for a reason, and so every day this is how we leave to get to the field, and so it just kind of zones us in and gets us ready for practice and helps us focus on what our team motto is and what we're striving for every day.
Stick around, we're bringing you the story of a Lady Raider who's over 6,000 miles from home. Many student athletes will leave their homes to travel hundreds or even thousands of miles to play the sport that they love. For Mami Yamamoto, going to the other side of the world to play golf was a no-brainer.
My name is Mami Yamamoto from Tokyo, Japan, and I'm sophomore at Texas Tech University. I used to live in Florida before I come to Texas. And I used to be in Golf Academy in Florida, and one of the coach I knew, he knew JoJo, our head coach, and that's why I started to talk with her, and I came to visit, and I really liked the school and the program that they had. I really like how she had practice plan for us ready every day, so we can stick to it, and then we can focus on what we need to do. But at least once a week, we have our own practice, so we can still add some extra work on what we feel like we need to work on. I'm studying business because my parents does a lot of business, and everything is somewhat related to business in this world. So I wanted to study the basic of it, and I'm not sure what I want to do with it after I graduate, but I was interested in, so I decided to study business. I miss Asian food the most. That's probably the only thing I miss from back home, but I still go back at least once a year. I really like yakiniku, which is really close to Korean barbecue, but it's Japanese styles, and that's what I always go eat first when I go back home. But when I go home, I actually miss American junk food now, so it's so good. The way we communicate with each other is really different. I feel like American people say a lot of things more directly, but Japanese, they tend to use more body language and be more indirect, so it is hard to tell what they're thinking. So I actually like the way we speak and the way we build a relationship in America more. So I really like the academic help that I can get from Texas Tech. Marsha Sharp Center, I always go there to study. I cannot focus in my room to study, so whenever I know that I need to study, I would just go there and study. And it's good to see other athletes studying. And I use the tutoring a lot. I still struggle with my English, so it's nice to have someone to be there and help me understand and have a good grade.
Stay with us, we'll be right back on Double T Insider.
I'm Robert Giovanetti alongside Texas Tech Director of Athletics Kirby Hocutt. Kirby, we're standing here in front of the Sports Performance Center. Pretty excited, a $48 million facility funded by our donors. Really a lot of people to thank.
We do. The Red Raider Nation continues to be so generous and supportive of this athletics program. They've invested into this program over $250 million over the last 10 years into our athletic facilities, and the Sports Performance Center is a continuation of that generosity, and we do have a lot of people to be thankful for.
You know, when we started the campaign for Fearless Champions, which encompassed a lot more than this building though, but this was at that time, right at the start, really the thing you were looking at to be the first really big milestone. Is that correct?
Well, it's the most significant project that we've had to date under the campaign for Fearless Champions. And this is truly going to be a state-of-the-art facility, the best in the country, with an indoor football practice facility, as well as an indoor track and field facility, strength and conditioning center, nutritional center, sports medicine center. So it will be the best sports performance center in the country.
Now we're here on the east side of the building. We'll see the football side with the high ceiling. A lot of people say, hey, why just practice outside in the snow and the rain? You got to play in that. But there's more to that, right? Lightning can cause problems.
Well, there is, and you know, Coach Kingsbury never makes excuses. We will not make excuses, but a fact is last year we missed 8 practices because of weather-related issues. We're excited that never again will we miss a football practice, especially during season. I remember last year, I think it was Thursday prior to the West Virginia game, we were unable to practice. And at this level, when you're competing on this stage, that's not acceptable.
Meanwhile, on the west side, we're going to have the indoor track. Finest in the country, is going to allow us to do a lot of different events here at Texas Tech.
Well, it is, and Coach Kitley has built one of the finest track and field programs in the country. We're excited next year when the indoor season starts. We will not have to leave Lubbock, Texas. We've got teams all over the country calling, wanting to enroll into our track meets, and so it'll be a great advantage for Coach Kitley and the track and field programs.
How much does a building like that help affect recruiting?
Oh, it's significant. Facilities, right or wrong, play a distinguishing part of the decision for young people today when they're deciding where to go to college. So facilities play a significant part of their decision-making process, and what we're doing with the Sports Performance Center will be such a benefit to all of our coaches, especially football and track, as they continue to recruit.
The Sports Performance Center set to open this summer. Look forward to that. This has been Kirby Hocutt.
Stay tuned after the break. We'll preview all the action this week in Texas Tech athletics.
Double T Insider was brought to you in part by Plains Capital Bank. Bank with confidence. The Red Raider Club. Your support, their effort, our fearless champions. Texas Farm Bureau. Register today for your chance to deliver the game ball and receive a VIP experience at a Texas Tech home football game. Contest details available at texastech.com. Texas Ford dealers. Visit your Texas Ford dealer today. Ford is the best in Texas. And UMC, it's our hospital.
Number 3 ranked Texas Tech baseball will see its second Big 12 opponent this season when they head to Norman to face off against Oklahoma for a 3-game stretch Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Softball heads to Baylor for their 3-game series Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And also this weekend, women's tennis will host back-to-back conference opponents, starting with Oklahoma State Friday at 5 o'clock and Oklahoma Sunday at noon. Meanwhile, the men's tennis team is in Tulsa Friday at 5 o'clock. Track and field is in Austin today through Saturday for the Texas Relays, and men's golf will be at the Aggie Invitational in College Station Saturday and Sunday. To stay up to date on all things happening in Texas Tech athletics, just head on over to texastech.com and don't forget to follow us on social media. For everybody here with Double T Insider, I'm Taylor Peters. We'll see you next week.